is Brittany Ward, originally from Detroit, Michigan. I'm a student at Prescott College. I'm grateful to be here speaking in front of you guys today. So yeah, a little bit of history lesson. Let's start with that. Arizona was the last state to recognize MLK Day as a holiday. But this only happened because of Arizona boycott organizers, followed by the NFL potentially pulling the upcoming Super Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona, due to fear of a potential fallout. MLK Day was then marked as a holiday in 1993, and the Super Bowl then happened in Phoenix, Arizona in 1996.
Amen.
Here we are, 24 years later, and for its 6th year, the city of Prescott has continued to dedicate a day to show appreciation for the dream and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. through his Peace and Justice March and celebration, while at the same time experiencing a travel boycott held by the Republican David Stringer's racist comments stating that black people don't blend in here and there aren't enough white kids to go around. Google it, I can't make this stuff up. The MLK celebration in Prescott, Arizona is one of those events that puts on display exactly what happens when unconditional love, community engagement, and people from diverse ethnicities, cultures, identities, and political parties, pay brackets, professions, meet in one space under the influence of one goal. And it is easy to get caught up in chants of peace and justice that seemingly has swallowed all hatred on this day. However, we would not be doing the legacy of MLK any justice if we allow days such as these to put a veil over our eyes, failing to recognize the current state of injustice happening in our own town. MLK's legacy is not only made up of holding hands, singing hymns, and talking about a world where we can all get along. It is also a legacy that has organized clergy, government workers, students, etc. against racist, exclusionary laws and practices. A legacy that consistently applied pressure to irresponsible politicians who use their agency to elevate their own biases and pay more attention to the money instead of community concerns. After the call for a boycott, the mayor of Prescott, Greg Mingarelli, hosted a private meeting between East Valley NAACP and City of Prescott representatives. I attended that meeting. The conversation went seemingly well and influenced the discussion of maybe having more diversity and inclusion and maybe even discussion of having a position that focuses on these things exclusively. The conversation did not end there. I was invited to continue the ideas and thoughts mentioned in the meeting. My plan was to stand in front of you today and share the gospel, the good news, regarding the supposedly developing conversation about what diversity and inclusion looks like, involving the city of Prescott. To be proud to speak after the words of the proclamation were read, especially that last part. However, after my most recent meeting with the City of Prescott representative, those efforts seem to be last on the list of priorities for city-developed and led initiatives. As of now, the city does not have any resources to delegate towards any action or support of new or existing efforts towards diversity and inclusion, but they would be happy to post the finished product of community organizers on their calendar. Oftentimes, community organizers such as I are put in front of large crowds and are expected to speak only in the spirit of overcoming and remaining resilient. What you don't hear is the amount of times tears fell from their eyes, the amount of times they were given broken promises, the amount of work they put in just to be let down. So instead, I have decided to honor MLK's legacy by talking about the importance of community organizing. I was shocked to find out that the city had no idea that there was a committee behind the work of MLK Day every year. A committee of educators, students, clergy, and community members that volunteered their time to meet, discuss exactly how we want to honor the legacy of Martin Luther King, while also giving light to the ongoing struggles that are still. I was not shocked that they have continued to do this work voluntarily. Because if not them, then who? And so I say to you today, if not us, then literally who?
Come on.
Who will save the iconic Granite Dells landscape as permanently protected public open space? And for a sustainable economy? Who will move to amend our Constitution to firmly establish that money is not speech, and that human beings constitutional rights? Who will keep Prescott together by creating capacity for deportation defense within the greater Prescott area? Who will advocate for people in Prescott that are affected by drug abuse? Who will provide necessary food recovery for hungry people that need shelter in Prescott, Arizona? And who will take action with the 450 federal employees and 380,000 federal workers furloughed and working without pay in our own communities? Who will march on in the name of inclusion? It's 2019 and we can no longer say they will handle it, because at this point we are the they. As Kendra said, we are the first responders. We are the they that fills that last spot on the petition form. In 2010, we were the they that spoke against the lightning of a Latino boy's face on a beautiful mural painted on the side of Miller Valley. We are the they that shows the youth he, she can be they, them if it makes them happy. This year's MLK Celebration is Don't Sleep Through the Revolution. There's so much amazing work happening by your neighbors here in Prescott, Arizona that is making the world a slightly easier place to live in. And you will be surprised how much posting a flyer at your job, tabling at the square, supporting an event, canvassing your neighborhood, donating $5, recycling 2 small clothes, publicly standing against fascism, racism, and bigotry will make a difference. I am here living, working, and studying to obtain my master's degree in Prescott, Arizona, because people like Martin Luther King organized and took action against educational segregation and declared it unconstitutional.
Come on.
That says, we are not makers of history, we are made by history. We are not makers of history, but we are made by history. After you leave here today, I encourage you to not treat this as an ordinary march and day of community service, but instead I want you to ask yourself, what kind of world do you want to shape for yourself, for your children, for your children's children? The decisions that we make and allowed to be made for Prescott will shape the type of community we live in. It is that simple. So please stand with me, or raise your hand if you're unable. If you choose to shape a community that prioritizes the needs of the majority and the minority. Please stand with me that welcomes people of all diverse identities. It's beautiful. If you want everyone to feel like it's their hometown.
Amen.
Please stand with me if you agree that the city of Prescott needs to be more inclusive in their efforts to respond to an ever-growing demographic of Black and brown people.
Amen.
Those of you who stood up or raised your hand, thank you. But that is not it. I invite you to attend our weekly events and see firsthand what work like this looks like. There's more information in your programs if needed. This type of work does not have a 24-hour time stamp. This type of work is a lifestyle. It is us being intentional about what we give time to, resources, and a response to. Fortunately, your your friends, your neighbors, colleagues have already shared with you this type of work. Our job is to say yes next time. Our job is to take 5 minutes out of your day to learn about what is happening and how we can help shape Prescott's history for an even better future. Thank you.